Hey guys, IB2 coming at you today. A couple things. We're going to go down and cut some more poplar trees down for some habitat improvement, and trying out a new camera I got here. It's the Canon Vixia HFG50. So we're going to play with that a little bit and go get some habitat stuff done. The goal. So we've made it down here, and looking at this, I think what I'm going to do is, our direction of travel is usually like this for the most part. Obviously they can travel any way they want, but I'm going to start following these trees out perpendicular to the line of travel, so that when you follow the tree out, they can travel behind it but still have ins and outs coming this way, if that makes sense, rather than following it parallel to the line of travel, and then you're more of a chute type thing. We're going to create like a corridor. So drop these first 6-8 deep this way, get in there, get about a 6-8 foot wide, drop them that way, and see if I can work like that and see what happens. But you can see that there's a fair amount of deer activity down through here, and then again I'm just working on trying to continue to build this out and flourish it out and make it bigger as we go, and get the new gen coming up. So I want to show you a rub right over here. It's pretty big. It's on a nice big poplar here, but decided to attack it. So we had some good bucks out here last year. That's pretty good size if I can get my hat down to it. You can see that's a pretty good sized tree there. So we had one of them having fun, and you can see the nice run down through there. So definitely using this angle line of travel, heading back up through these pines across that ridge, so we won't disturb that too much. But then you can see we got a lot of conifers planted in here. This was a Trent Mark and Ava project years ago. There's a real small white pine, hasn't quite made it, but you can see when these things get an inch or two in diameter, the deer start attacking them. So they you know, I like to, if we can, drop some cover around them. I might even look at dropping these trees here, hinging them over in between these. We got this group of conifers here, and protect them a little more. So yeah, I'll do that too. But we'll get started, see what kind of damage we can do, and get some habitat going here. So right there you can see I used the bucket to do finish up a hinge cut. I left a lot of the tree so that I could use the bucket to push it and kind of gently push it over. So, and then that area right there, there's a good amount of conifers, so hopefully those branches not only provide the food, the cover, but they also protect those conifers from getting rubbed up and stuff. What it is a spruce tree. They're Norway spruce, I believe, so protect those. But now we'll go for a walk. I use one gas tank of fuel on the chainsaw, and I got in there and I did a little bit different than what I was anticipating. I saw a spot or area where I thought I could enhance maybe some bedding, some cover, some side cover and stuff. So we'll take a walk through there and I'll show you what I did. I think right about here was our starting point, our reference point that we did earlier. And if we start over, this is where I ended, and I actually started over here. So where I ended, you can see I dropped, I don't know, a dozen, 2 dozen poplar trees. I'm just trying to knock them down. They're the sun seekers, taking the sunlight. So trying to get them on the ground, rejuvenate the short, stubby stuff that the deer need and like. And then way on the end, you can see, we'll get over there, but I kind of did the same on that end. And so once I got started in here, I was going to start exactly right in those well, I learned a lesson on my camera already. I need more memory in it. I filled up the memory card right away here, so I'm gonna finish on the iPhone. But as I said, when I got started, I intended on getting into these popples right quick, but then I'm walking around looking, and this is kind of open in here, and these conifers kind of need a little protecting. So I started doing that, and I left this tree because we may be able to, there's a bald eagle. There he is. Cool. Probably hard to see on here, but I left this tree because maybe we could saddle hunt it someday or something like that. It's kind of closer to the bedding, and I don't know. Probably should have cut it down, but I didn't. But anyway, so I had this row of trees here. So I lopped them out into those conifer, into the Norway spruces to protect them. And so the deer maybe don't get in there quite so much. You can see that one right here, he's all rubbed up, and maybe now this will protect it a little more and he can grow up a little bit. And then as I was walking in, you can start seeing where I lopped these over. These are all elm, which is good for the deer browse. They're not very old, so what I'm trying to do is create a little bit of a screen out here while maintaining their line of travel on the interior here. So we got a little booger right here, but they could travel up here, and obviously there's a really defined run down in here. So I was lopping those to the side, give us a little side cover. Habitat pockets, I've heard it called, but just giving a little more cover, a little less openness. We'll circle around here, but so I got these juniper trees, kind of using those as the natural cover that they are. And then as I get in this pocket here, you can see lop it out, leave a travel corridor, lop it out, use the Russian olive bush as the cover that it is. Kind of set a wall here, a little screen, so maybe you got bedding on the other side, or at least cover. You got the juniper there, and the deer can get through here. And so if they decide to come on here, it's open, trails coming through. They decide to come on this side, it's open, trails coming through. But we got that side cover working right here. So then as I get out to the edge, I was just trying to continue that and feather it. So I feathered it back in toward the cover here. Eventually I'll probably work down in there and get some of that going too. But as you can see, again, we got an opening here, side cover, side cover. If I'm a deer and I get in here, I can go that way, I can go that way. So I think this might help them out, provide a little more cover. Now I'm just continuing to the north here a little bit. Another opening, and this is where we just came from. Cover, cover, side cover. Hopefully those will. Thought there was a deer looking at me down in there, but it's not. Hopefully some of these will leaf out this year. I could have done a little more in here probably, but I didn't. Something to come back and do. But as you can see, this backside will fill right in. But again, I got a lane to get out, I got a lane to get out, I got a lane to get out, you got a lane to get out. So as I'm learning, that's important. Looks like a cardinal that bit the dust here. Got these red feathers. Oh boy. Yeah, there's a bunch of red feathers. Cardinal bit the dust. Anyway, well-defined trail. So, and then I just kind of moved along, did the same thing. Dropped these trees. Again, not necessarily changing their line of travel, just kind of working along it. And then going what is that? Not parallel. Perpendicular. Line of travel, perpendicular outs. Good cover, but you got them out. Good cover, but you got them out. We get down to the end, and I kind of wanted to stop this up a little bit, so either he has to go out around, and we might get a glimpse of him, or I'll show you, I put a line of travel to the food plot in there. So this is kind of the edge of where we're at, and you can see I dropped all these trees into that, tangle it up, and again, providing food as well as cover, and then protecting our little Norway spruces. You can see them all the way up through there. All right, we'll move into the interior there. So I started over there, we made our way over here, over here, over here, and then we get to the end, and my intent is that's an opening to use to get through into this interior little feature we got going here. My intention here is we got a line of travel that can get you, unfortunately, he can probably see that food plot, so he doesn't really have to come out, but we'll work on that. And then I dropped these trees. Again, I wanted to create tornado effect here so that they don't move through that. So he either has to go here or around out there. So we drop. Again, opening the canopy, getting sunlight to the ground out there to our Norway spruce. We got the direction of travel. Protecting the young growth, got young shoots coming up. Getting some sunlight in. Got one hanger there, but so that's the intent here. Then once we get out here, we're probably in Rub City, and then they can make a decision where they're going to go from here. Probably, hopefully up through that food plot, but maybe around the back side. But using a little elm again, hinge cut right here for structure. That'll green up nice, and that was a project. So it took me one tank of gas and just about an hour, probably, not quite. So so if you have young habitat like this is 20 years old or so. In my mind, I'm not afraid of regenerating it. So you can see, I mean, to me, those trees are better off laying down letting in sun than they are standing full straight up as far as what I'm concerned with. Now, if you want big open meadows and beautiful, I don't know, flowers and things like that, probably not a thing to do. But for deer hunting, deer food, I just put a ton of deer food on the ground right here. They'll come through and eat these. This is what I found works good for our property. So get your chainsaw. If you had a buddy, you could really do some good habitat work. Beautiful time to be out doing this. Nice cool weather. I don't like sweating a lot. You don't sweat a lot. So get all that done in an hour. Put some food on the ground, put some cover on the ground, help the deer out, provide a little more habitat, get a little exercise. I mean, there's so many wins to the win-win-win. It's like a win-win-win-win-win-win-win. So let's get out there and do some winning. See you next time. Let's go get them.